Alright, we're going to go through the answers for Chapter 9, Quiz 2. Okay, for this first page, I'm just going to show you guys the work. So number 1 is a parallelogram. So notice our parallelogram formula. Then we put in our base and height. So 12 would be our base up here, and 6 is our height. We don't even use 10. We get our answer 72 meters squared. So make sure you do have units on these. For the next one, we have a trapezoid. Okay, we put our formula down for a trapezoid. Then we put in our numbers. Base 1 is 22, base 2 is 10, and our height goes straight up, so it's 7. Okay, 9 doesn't even get used. And remember, in your formula, you do have to divide by 2. Okay, I know the answer is cut off there. It should say 112 meters squared. Okay, on the next page here, number 3 is a triangle, so I make sure I put my triangle formula. Area is base times height divided by 2. On this one, you just have to count carefully. So if you got it wrong, you might want to count again, but it's a base of 5 and a height of 7. Divide that by 2, you get 17.5. And on number 4, it should have been a really easy triangle, because all it is 3 times 8 divided by 2. Okay, keep on going here. Remember, pause if you need to, if you have to go back and redo the problems and fix them. Okay, for number 5, you had to do a little bit more work. So it's finding the area of this triangle. Well, I look here, and we know this side is 17 because it's also 17 there. It's parallel and congruent. But then I was missing this number here. So if you look on the side, I did my math. Since I know the whole line here is 34, I know this part is 10 and that part is 7, I just did 34 minus 10 minus 7. Leaves me with 17 for that answer. So my triangle is a 17 by 17, so I just do 17 times 17 divided by 2, and I get my answer. Over here, we have a composite figure. So if you look, okay, above my little cursor there, the triangle, up here on the picture, if you look, there's a triangle. It's a 10 by 3. So I divide that by 2, and that triangle is 15. Well, if you look at this shape here, my cursor's at, that's just a trapezoid. So down here's my work for it. Okay, it's got a base of 7, another base of 10, and the height is 6. So you have to make sure you put your numbers in. You really have to kind of think about maybe turning that shape sideways to look at it. I use my trapezoid formula, make sure to divide by 2, and I get 51. So all I have to do is add up 15 and 51, and I get this answer right here, which is my final answer. Okay, going on. Okay, on this page, there's kind of 3 steps. Okay, remember, first step, I find the area of each rectangle. So if I look at my weight room, it's 28 by 30. So I do that, and I get 840. The dance studio is 33 by 42. So I multiply those and get 1,386. So I can't just add those up and be done. Well, I did that right here. I added them up. I get 2,226. I can't be done, though, because where my cursor is, that locker room is overlapped, meaning it's counted twice. So I have to subtract the area of that. So I find the locker room. To do that, kind of showed a little work here. I need this red line. I have 14 there. Well, how I found 14 was taking the 30 that's here and subtracting the 16, which leaves me with 14. And then this one that I have 14 written on the bottom, I have to go and look at the top, it's 28. This little piece is 14, so 28 minus 14 is also 14. So the area of that is 196, so I subtract that, and here's my final area. Alright, let's keep going here. Number 8, find the base of the parallelogram. So all you're doing is you're using your formula for a parallelogram, and you're putting in your numbers. So if you look above my cursor, 60 is my area, so I put in a 60 for the area. I'm trying to find the base, so I leave that as B, and my height is 12, so I put in a 12. Okay, guys, if you're looking above the cursor, it's just an equation. So all I'll do is solve that, is divide by 12. If I do it to this side, I have to do it to this side. Okay, and I get B equals 5. Make sure I label it 5 meters. On this one with the triangle, I have to find the missing height. So the same thing, I start with my triangle formula. Since the area is 42, I put in 42 for area. I don't know the height, so it's still an H. And my base is 12, so I put in a 12 for the base. And make sure to put divide by 2. So to solve this, here's where that new step came in. I have to undo the equation by getting rid of the divide by 2, so I multiply by 2. If I do it to this side, I have to do it to that side as well. So if I do 42 times 2, I get 84 equals H times 12. Okay, I'm going to have to pause it real quick.